Hey guys, my name is Ross. I'm the new resident life manager here at SDC. I am so excited to be here. This is my first semester. Obviously getting to meet a ton of you guys. Being in this new role is amazing. Originally from Oregon, so super excited to be down here in Southern California with you guys, living life, learning, as well as building community with you. And that's what I get to talk to you guys about. I am fully confident that every aspect of your life can be changed through community. What I mean by that is being a part of a community like SDC, you have the incredible opportunity to not only grow academically, but socially and spiritually as well. And just to tell you a little bit more about me, grew up in a small little town in Oregon, had a really good group of friends, had that community around me. Entered into high school, had a small group of friends, community, was constantly building on that. And into college, that transition too, where I realized, oh, I needed that sense of community even without recognizing it right at first. And that's something that I've always taken for granted, is the community that I have around me. Because I know not everyone has that. But I get to talk to you guys about like the value and importance of that. I was reading as I was preparing for this video, and I think I saw somewhere that community is the #1 word used by millennials, by the millennial generation, which is crazy to me to think that like one word has such an impact on a generation of people. The reality is that community is so valued and so important. It's such an integral part of who we are and helping shape us and develop who we are as people. And I think that's even more elevated in a higher education environment like SDC, where you're learning who you are, you're shaping who you want to be, and through that you get to shape the other people around you too. So with that, I want to encourage you guys to lean into that, to not be afraid to branch out. You're a part of this community already. Even your alpha group, the people you're surrounded with at this table or wherever you're meeting, you get to be a part of community. And you didn't have to do anything to do that. It was handed to you, or you were forced to be in this group. But the reality is, you should take advantage of that. You might not know everyone in your alpha group. You might not know everyone at this school. But because we're such a small Christian school, you get the opportunity to say hi to people, get to know them, build those relationships, build community around you. And your community can look like whatever you want it to look like. The importance is that you need to have community though, and you find that growth through that, through building relationships and through learning how other people are struggling and their successes and their failures. So I just really want to encourage you guys, lean into that. I've found that vulnerability is where community is built a lot of times, and vulnerability in the sense that you are okay being comfortable enough to let yourself take down those walls, take down those barriers that have kind of stopped you from building community, stopped you from learning and growing from other people. There's been so many times in my life where I've grown through vulnerability, and that's academically, socially, spiritually. Every aspect of my life has been changed. I value community so much now, and even stepping into this new position here at SDC, getting to know you guys, community is something that we can build in every aspect of our lives, and it only continues to help us be a better light to the world and to be a better example of Christ to others, because we're doing it together. You're not alone. You get to experience that together. So a couple questions I want you guys to think about when you're in your alpha groups. How can you be more vulnerable? How can you branch out? How can you experience what this environment has for you to the fullest, so that you can be the best person you are, and go out into the community, further God's kingdom, and represent who you are, who you want to be. So how can you be more vulnerable? Second question I want you guys to think about is how you can find community where you're at. This is something that I struggled with, even though I've had different community groups throughout my life. Knowing that people want to meet you where you're at, and God wants to meet you where you're at. It's not something, you don't have to be a different version of yourself in order to be accepted into a community. You just have to be you, and people will come to you and flock to you and realize that you are you, and that's attractive. So I guess find community where you're at. Build community with people that are in the same life path as you, experiencing the same things, struggling with the same things, experiencing success with the same things. Build community where you're at. How can you do that? Look for opportunities. Talk about different areas you can reach out to people, maybe starting a small group, starting a club on campus. Find ways where you can build your own community. So with that, guys, again, I just want to encourage you to look for opportunities in this community group, in this alpha group that is a community. Welcome to SDC. We are so excited. I'm sure people have already told you that. I'm stoked to be here. I couldn't be more excited to build community with you guys. And I'm fully confident that if you lean into this community that has been offered to you and that you are building and that you are learning together, these next few years, 4, 5, 6, however long it takes you to graduate, will be the best years of your life. If you are willing to build community, if you're willing to learn from each other. So with that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Have a great discussion. Stop by my office. I would love to meet you if we haven't met already. Thanks.